Something bad's about to happen to me.
And here we are, once again, guys. Oh my goodness, the day ends with Y, so doesn't happen all the time. But we're playing Dragon Quest. Welcome to the channel. It's the Coops, the Loops, the Fruity Hoops. And today we're doing Zelmea. It's a wonderful event where you get equipment, not weapons, but mostly just stuff to wear. Of basically any level. Once you complete the full quest here, which it is pretty randomized, so maybe a minute, maybe pretty soon, but once you complete the full round, you can get basically any level of equipment ever. But when you start this dungeon, you can only get equipment up to your level. And we'll do the whole story explanation and whatnot here. Basically, this is just an island. Abandoned. One of those lost city type things. And now it's like inhabited. It's kind of like Atlantis. It's kind of inhabited by the old octopus troop. Who have turned over a new leaf and are now good, you know, and decide to help us. But, of course, the thing that sank the entire town, city thing, whatever, it's still lurking. So, you know, that's what this whole dungeon is for. Eradicating fear, destroying what doesn't need to be there, all that good yum yum. And yeah, it is a very much randomized dungeon. If you have played anything like Persona or Shin Megami Tensei in general, those dungeon crawlers are very reminiscent of this event. Essentially, you have randomized little squares and a certain amount of tokens you can use to open the little doors for each square. Every time you open one and it gives you another one, you can see where the results of one of the rooms is. And at the bottom there, it shows you what else is in the last 3 rooms. When the map comes back, you'll be able to see it. But there's a bit of a formula to it. I believe there's quite a few tools online that you can just sort of input what the map says, and then you can sort of figure out the rest of the rooms, you know, inference and whatnot, and pattern recognition, essentially. But yeah, you just kind of run through it a bunch of times until you get the equipment that you want. Before the event starts, you choose what level equipment you want, and once you've gone far enough into the dungeon, it allows you to skip ahead to the later floors when there are more mechanics, such as the little mirror that I touched earlier on that will tell you which, you know, what one of the rooms is. You have the lamps, which give you certain things for your next floor, and the fire tokens, which let you go through walls instead of having to adhere to those pesky doors. And last but not least, for this event, you actually need a little bit of currency to get in here. They're called Zelmea crest. Untradeable and unsellable. And essentially you get these from defeating enemies randomly, and then one of your little buddies is going to show up. Your little squid billy buddies is going to show up in the world, and once you defeat them, and they show up with any enemy basically, just randomly. Once you defeat one of those guys, they'll always drop a crest, maybe 2 or so. And then yeah, you'll be able to do one run of the good old Zelmea. Now, how you can get around this is you can have like somebody in your party to just use all the crest for you, so you don't have to have any. Because essentially only the party leader is going to be using crests to get you guys in here. But yeah, you basically have to have that currency because, you know, you can get any kind of equipment. Normally this stuff is pretty expensive, and although it is randomized if the alchemy effects are going to be good or not, you know, if it's really going to be like a useful set or not, you can upgrade it to make sure it gets all +3s. And of course there's the gems and whatnot to where you can modify your equipment quite a bit once you already have it there. But you need it. You need it. And that's essentially what this event is. It's just powering up the character like pretty much everything else in the MMO, but in a fun little way. I do like this dungeon, and once again reminds me a lot of Persona. I hope you guys would like the the persona vibes that me and Fua are giving you. Yeah, Fuame, we have Frost, and we have, wow, I forgot his name, that's Cloud. That was funny. But yeah, as you can see, I do have a little bit of a weird title here up top. We're talking about success. And more important than success, we're talking about success consciousness, okay? That's the ability to be able to see when you are winning, when you are failing, and also be able to look forward at what you can improve on, and just being mostly aware of, not just the success, but the faith. Because the faith is really what allows you to get to where you need to go. I'm sorry, but most of life relies on delusion and deceit. But you can transform that, instead of being such a negative connotation there, into faith, and sort of delve into your own prospects and cause yourself to succeed. You have to force yourself to succeed, right? And of course, we love the video game, so I'll turn it into an analogy here. So with this specific event, this very episode, I went in. This was just a random night that I recorded this post-commentary. And I went in just thinking, like, I haven't recorded Zelmea yet, I'll just jump in, why not, for one, because I don't know if I'm, ever really gonna have another mission to do Zelmea. So this is my first run of the night. I think it's my first or second run of the night. No, I think it might be the first. And yeah, we not to spoil anything here, but we actually go all the way to the end. And like I said, this is a random dungeon. But, yeah, I did not expect basically anything from this. I just, chop wood, carry water, we have to do it. It's got to be done. And yeah, I knew I needed videos because of the whole hard drive wiping thing. You can't fucking stop me, world. I'm going to upload every day anyways because I just like doing it. I like putting pen to paper, brass to tack, dick to cardboard. It's just something that fuels me. And it keeps me here, I suppose. Logically, there are some people that want me here, if we're just looking at strict statistics, but people normally don't go off of that nowadays. They go off of feelings. I don't have a choice. I cannot go off of my feelings because, you know what I feel like? 90% of the time, I feel like I don't want to fucking be here, right? I feel like let's just end it all and move away from this plane of existence. So I really don't have that choice, personally, to go by feelings, but oftentimes people do, and if you do, you're gonna feel like a failure all the damn time, and it all comes from your consciousness. Our thoughts will definitely 110% bake whatever reality that we have. And I made sure before doing something like this, before even recording something like this, that I'm just in an okay headspace. But at the same time, I just started anyways. I started anyways, and although I do feel bad, I just get conscious. I get aware of what's happening, man. Got some facts here. We have been uploading every day for about half a year. I believe around June, July, August is when I started 3 times a day. But yeah, a short and a video a day. And when we got live streaming back in October, I decided to just go live every day too. And from that, I have amassed, love, subs, just heart. But if I really want to get down to brass tacks, it's the discipline that I'm really proud of. It's the fact that I can really wake up and be like, holy shit, I'm leaving an absolute catastrophe in my wake. And it's affecting people. It's moving things, I really don't care to talk about the numbers. I'll just say I 10x'd my growth in a year, which is exactly what happened. But I don't like to get down to brass tacks on, physically what it is, because it dates the video, first of all. But second of all, it doesn't really matter. I should worry about, how many videos I'm making and how I feel after making them. And I will say, man, it wears off fast. It wears off fast. It feels good to upload. It feels good to watch it. But I need more, and that comes from, I feel like, the work ethic, but also the faith I have in myself and in this world. I think a lot of people have this idea that everyone is out to get them. And the entire world is crumbling upon them. And you're not wrong. I will tell you that right there. You're not fucking wrong, man. The entire world really is pretty evil. If I was one to listen to the voices in my head, I would, you know, agree with you and fall down those path lines. But in order to be success conscious, you kind of have to just know what your default is and not look at your results, but look at the amount of discipline you're instilling upon yourself. Look at the habits, you know? And yeah, the faith is a huge part, but it comes down to thoughts, because you're really not going to stop the bad thoughts. You know, you're really not gonna compartmentalize the bad thoughts. They're always gonna be there. They're always gonna sort of surround and engulf you. But just like the porn, just like the drugs, just like the drinking, or, you know, even video games, anything can be used to propel you forward instead of holding you back. Quite literally anything. So I'd say if you're somebody with just a surplus, you know, of negative feedback, then, you know, you don't have to listen to it. You are just the observer of the river. And some people have a river of blood. You know, utilize your river of blood. And I'd say we're not even really talking about success at this point. We're just talking about being conscientious and aware. And that will automatically bring you success as long as you know that you really don't want to stop. You want to build, you know, platforms and formulas that allow you to feel like the day has been saved. Because we all are heroes of our own story, right? We really are. And you have to basically save yourself. You have to save your day. So you set up structures, you set up discipline, you set up margins, goals for yourself, clear visions, and then, you know, it's impossible for you to fail because you saved your day. Save yourself. But that's really how it goes, guys. You realize during this entire chat, I really haven't talked about any kinds of, you know, metrics or how buff you are in the gym or specific, you know, statures, because that's for you. That is entirely for you. And you have to realize that if you're chasing success to impress someone else, then to me, I feel like that's not even really success. You're chasing appeasement or validation. And the crazy thing is that nowadays, people don't get validation by actually working on themselves and achieving things. They get validation by appeasing people, by making people comfortable, and by being relatable. Oftentimes, the guy who goes, you know, farther than is ever needed to go, they'll get that surface level validation, but to truly connect to someone, especially the normies and the lames, it's gonna be very hard because not a lot of people want to go through this process, and I will count myself as one of those people. It fucking sucks, man. Conscientious and being aware of things and just realizing how shit the world is, and of course realizing that nobody really fucking wants to do this and they all just want to drown out with drugs and friends and YouTube videos and whatever the fuck you're doing, movies, snacks, whatever it is. Nobody really wants to go through these problems because it's fucking hard, man. I'm not gonna deny that. But as far as I go, I don't think it's possible for me to stop now. And perhaps you are on that train too. Perhaps you have gotten on that train and somehow managed to get off. Giggity. But wherever your place is, just know that just like when I started this whole Zelmea thing, if you just lower your desires and you just say, I don't know what this is gonna bring, and on top of that, I really don't care. I'm just going in with a full heart and a full head of courage and all the faith I need, and the conscientious to know that just me starting it means I'm successful, then yeah, you have to realize that not being able to stop is a divine gift, you know? And also being able to stop as well is another divine gift, okay? We don't want to downplay any of the wonderful things we're doing here for ourselves. Um because it's all very important. It's all very important. And you know in your heart of hearts, in your soul of souls, that what you need to be doing, you know, what you're destined for, it's not going to leave you. It's not. So I give my heart out to all those who have tried super hard and then just maybe, you know, that one neighbor, that one friend who said something weird to you or whatever just kind of stopped you and you're just like, well, maybe I'll just put it down for a second. Just know that you can always come back. You know, it's never too late. And if you're in the middle of it now and you feel like I just hate this and I just want to stop, then you know you're always free to do that. But I will tell you that if it's yourself that's making you stop, it's probably because of your crazy desires. You know, you sound like one of those entitled women. You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't I find a man? You know, you're all like, why can't I be successful? It's like, bro, because you want too much. I'm sorry, this world is trash. Okay, it's super fucking easy to do everything, and it's trash. So since it's super easy and it's also fucking garbage here, we feel like we're working super hard, right? You know, harder than everyone else, and we're still getting garbage. It's because, you know, that's all there really is, man. You know, there's nothing truly holy about, you know, anything here, probably anything in the next world. You kind of just want to delve in the holy nature that is yourself. You know, anybody who can just sit there and do nothing for a long time really knows what I'm talking about. It's a beautiful thing to just lull in your thoughts, good or bad, and be like, holy shit, I thought that. That's pretty insane, right? And so I do want to extend the message off to you. Extensive gratitude. I thank you for listening to me for this long, for following the channel, whether you watched like 5 seconds of a short and you hopped in this premiere of the video, whether you have been a long-standing follower or subscriber since the good old days of classic internet when I started this channel to make music videos. Wherever you land, my friend, I do appreciate you and everything you guys do, even if it is nothing, even if it is in jest or in hate, um, you're there, you know, and that's all you really need to be. You gotta lower your desires and be like, I'm just gonna show up, man. If you just show up, you're doing way more than everybody else. And yeah, you're still gonna get trash. You may never get what you want, but this is why I definitely say if you wanna lock into something, it better be something you like. Better be, you know? And it's not like I even hated all the jobs that I did before, all the customer service. I just wanted respect. And I realized nowadays the golden rule doesn't really work if you want that. Not anymore, man. The golden rule is it's kind of outdated as far as that goes. And generally that's because of the internet, man. Because of the internet. You don't have to respect people to get friends or once again validation or love. You don't. Completely optional. Completely and utterly optional. And so because of that, a lot of people like me just kind of get tossed to the wayside. It's not like I'm mad at it, you know. I realize that I probably prefer to be here in such a divine society that we live in. This is most times our safest option. And not like I'm very self-preserving because I know if you try to save your life, you'll lose it. But at the same time, the only reason why I'm here is for other people. You know, I'm be completely honest with that. If there was nobody else in my life, then I'd have full permission to just really give up, you know, for real, for really real. But people are counting on me, people have been counting on me, and I need to figure out, you know, why this divine pressure has been put on here, you know, bestowed upon a Koopa. I really don't know. Perhaps we'll figure it out one day along this playthrough. But to do that, gotta be conscious, gotta be conscientious of myself, my achievements, and my love. You know, just know. And the awareness will hurt. The awareness will bring pain. all that fun stuff that we don't like to think or talk about. We do that here. We do that here, and you got to do that if you wanna get anywhere. You know, I know a lot of us play RPGs, MMOs, and stuff like that. Whenever you step into a boss fight, most oftentimes you're not sure if you're gonna win. So take that unsureness and work your magic. I'll see you next time.